and welcome to the Knitical Therapy Podcast. My name is Carrie and I'm your host and Knitical therapist. Today is April 9th, 2017, and we are coming to you today from San Luis Obispo, just outside that area actually, at the Carrizo Plains. And behind me you have some beautiful wildflowers up in the mountains. We are on the San Andreas Fault. San Andreas Fault. So that's kind of cool. There was a sign back there that said every year you're getting a little tiny bit closer to San Francisco because you're constantly moving closer. So that's kind of neat in a weird way. So anyways, I'm going to share with you some of my knitting, reading, and baking adventures today. I guess I will share with you now. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Knitical Therapy, and on Goodreads as K Willa. So please follow me, friend me in those locations. I'd love to hear from you, and I am working on a Ravelry group. I have to decide what I want my banner to be and all that. So I will keep you posted when that's up, and please come over there and join. So first I want to share with you a hat that I made for Richard, my fiance. He just wanted a blue hat. I made him one that was out of a yarn with mohair. I can't think of the name of it right off, and he found it a little itchy, so I made him another one. This one is out of Kobasi, which is cotton, bamboo, and silk. And I think that's, I can't remember the name of who makes it, but if you just search for that on Ravelry, you'll definitely find it. It's Kobasi, Cobasi. And he likes it, except for it does smush up on his head a little bit, so we don't know if it's because of his hair or because it's just a little bit too small. So I might be making him another one to see if that works better next time. So the things I am working on now, I'm working on an Ocean Bound, and this is by Melanie Berg. You can see there is some garter stitch and then some lace. And I'm working on I think I have like 2 more parts of the garter stitch, and then there's a lace section, and then I'll be all done with that. This was part of a KAL initially with the We Are Yarn podcast, and I did not finish, but I am still enjoying making it. Let's see, the next thing I've been working on are my Christmas socks. You saw this last week if you are a returning listener. I'm a little bit further, not much, maybe a few more rows until I will be getting to the heel. So that is that. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the shawl, that is made out of Space Cadet yarns. I do not know the colorways right off. They were part of a kit that I had gotten a few years back for my birthday. So the next thing, I have some new yarns to share with you. This is the Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn, and this is the Shiver colorway. Very pretty natural with pinks, blues, blacks. This is stuff I got at the Vogue Knitting Live as well. I showed you one last week, but this was stuff I had already packed away because we just moved to San Luis Obispo, which I will share a little bit more shortly. Let's see, this next one is by Forbidden Woolery. Okay, so the next thing I have to share with you is from Forbidden Woolery. This is something else I got at Vogue Knitting Live. They are out of Los Angeles, and her color sense is just beautiful. This is kind of a grayish green. I'm not sure what color you're going to see it as. I'm kind of seeing it as a green right now. In the convention center, it looked more gray, but it's just stunning. Very, very beautiful. The natural light hopefully is showing you some green. This is the Metropolis colorway in her Gluttony sock, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. I also got this colorway from her. Again, everything in her area I just loved. I really wanted pretty much to bring home her entire little area of yarn. So this is a Leonardo colorway. She said her 6-year-old son helped her dye it, and I honestly was just drawn to it immediately. It's beautiful. Alright, so the last few things I have to share with you I received as part of an exchange through reddit.com. I actually don't have an account over there, my fiance does, and he let me borrow his. So it was a yarn exchange, and this came from someone named Sonic Freak. I hope they don't mind me sharing that, but I got some Regia 4-ply Regia self-striping, so that's going to be fun. I had mentioned that I like the color purple, and so as you'll see, there's a bit of a theme with all of these yarns. This next one is Alegria by Manos de Uruguay. Very pretty deep purple. This is actually merino and polyamide. I think it's a fingering weight eggplant colorway. So again, right up my alley as far as colors. And then last but not least, we have another purple skein, and this one's from Narwhal Needlework, and it is in their Rogue fingering weight, which is in their mulberry colorway. So that's very pretty. I've heard all about Narwhal Needleworks before, never used their yarn before, so I'm quite excited. Okay, and so a little bit about where we are today. So let's go back. Last week, as you know, I had filmed in Red Rocks in Las Vegas. We just moved to California, so I'm a travel therapist, so I move every few months. And so now we are on the central coast of California. This is maybe 2 hours from the coast, and they've had a lot of rain this year, so there are a lot of flowers. I think they call it the super bloom, and it's just incredible. Like, we heard about it, we'd seen pictures, and we were like, well, let's go check it out. It seems pretty cool. It was amazing, way cooler than you could ever even imagine. I will try and share some photos as well to really give you the full idea of what this is. There's a lot of different colors, yellows, blues, purples, and the smell is just amazing. I've never really experienced anything like it. Just all of the flowers in one place. Very, very cool. And yes, it is pretty unique this year just because of all the rain that they have had. They are typically in a drought, and at this time they've had a lot of rain, or a lot of rain for California, and so the flowers are pretty incredible. Hello, and we're back here in a different part of Carrizo Plains. As you can see behind me, there are lots of other yellow flowers. There's some white and yellow flowers in front of me, as well as these pretty blue ones. I unfortunately don't know what kind of flowers they are, but they are beautiful. They're just all over the place here. Just absolutely stunning, as I was saying before. I had a couple more things I wanted to talk to you about. What I'm reading right now is, well, I finished my Ian Rankin book, The Knots and Crosses. I really enjoyed it. Probably would give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was very interesting. I definitely knew how it ended and before it ended, but it was still had a few things that were unexpected. Additionally, I am reading a book on my Kindle called Rosie is My Relative, and that is by Gerald Durrell. And it's basically about this guy who inherits an elephant unbeknownst to him until she shows up at his door, and how he is dealing with it. I don't know for sure if the book has any truth to it, but I believe Gerald Durrell does do a lot of writing that kind of are stories from when, from his childhood or just stories he's heard throughout his life. So it's kind of a funny, quirky story. Enjoying it so far. It's a little slow going at the moment, but I'm enjoying it. I'm also reading American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I took a brief hiatus on that one just because it's kind of deep for me right now. I can't really, what's the word? I don't have the right mindset for it right now. There's a lot of details, a lot of characters, a lot of things to keep straight, and right now my brain just wants something easy and fun, thus the Gerald Durrell book. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was our baking adventures this week. I made some chocolate chip cookies for my work because it was my last week there before moving out here to a new location. So I made some chocolate chip cookies that I found the recipe on kitchen.com. That's kitchn.com. And it was just like chocolate chip cookies from scratch, or how to make chocolate chip cookies from scratch. Delicious. They turned out nice and puffy, which are the way I prefer my cookies. They were perfectly done, according to Richard. I thought I could have cooked them maybe a minute less. So I will have to try that again. Of course, now we're at a different elevation, so that might change it all once again. So we'll have to experiment here. And of course, being in the central coast of California, not too far from San Francisco, I'll probably have to take a stab at making some bread. As you probably know, San Francisco is known for their sourdough bread, and I would love to be able to make some delicious bread while out here. So other than that, that's about all for this week. I'm Carrie, your Knitical therapist,